In this video, we're going to take a final mix in GarageBand, we're going to trim it in AudioShare, we're going to master it in Final Touch, we're going to add album artwork from Canva, and then we're going to release it using Amuse. Oh, and we're going to try and do it all in less than half an hour. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete, and this is Studio Live Today, where I help you create, record, and release your best music. And in this video, it's all about releasing, because I'm going to be releasing the cover version of the song The Final Countdown by Europe, which I recently recorded in GarageBand. Now, this is a stripped down acoustic version, and I haven't done a whole lot in the way of processing, but I wanted to get this out because a lot of folks want to learn, can we release a cover song using Amuse? So that's what we're going to test in this video, but I'm going to give myself half an hour to do this. So let's jump down into the iPad and get started. So here we are down in the iPad now. I was going to do this live, but I did realize there might be some personal information and passwords and things, so it probably wouldn't work. So what I am going to do though is I'm setting the clock right now for 30 minutes. It is 4:15 p.m. By 4:45 p.m. I'm going to have this completely done. Now I may edit some parts out because you don't want to have to watch all 30 minutes of this if there's some delays, but we're going to do it in as much real time as we can. So here are the apps that I'm using. So I've got GarageBand, AudioShare, Final Touch, Canva, and Chrome browser, because I needed to check who actually wrote this song, because I need to attribute that in Amuse, which we'll get to. We don't even have Amuse open. We need to open Amuse too. So let's start with the first step, which is going to my track in GarageBand. So here we are in GarageBand. This is the version of the Final Countdown that I recently recorded. It sounds a bit like this. And maybe we'll come back to earth, you can tell. Now, I've done a little bit of a basic mix on here. I haven't spent a lot of time, and not that I don't want this to sound good, but I really wanted to use this to test out Amuse and to test out releasing a cover song. So I didn't want to have to spend a heap of time getting it sounding perfect. But anyway, it is good to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my songs here. And once you've finished a song in GarageBand, you want to export it. You can export by tapping on the select button in the top right. I'm going to tap on the Final Countdown. Then in the bottom left here, I'm going to tap the share button. Now I'm going to share it as a song. So we'll tap on the song button there. Uncompressed wave is what we want to use. So I'll tap share here on uncompressed wave. And now it's going to ask me where I want to put it. But instead of saving a file, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to send this straight over to AudioShare. So I'm going to tap copy to AudioShare. Now I've showed a little bit about AudioShare in the past, and I have a video in the works at the moment. So if you're in the future, there'll be a video linked up there. If not, watch out for that one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and that will be out soon. So we'll wait for this song to export, which it actually has done now. So we won't be waiting at all. And now what it'll do, it'll open AudioShare and it will go to this song. So here we are now. As I mentioned in the opening, we're going to need to trim this song. So before I send it off to Final Touch to master it, we first need to trim it. So what I'm going to do is tap on the Tools button in the top right corner, and I'm going to tap Trim and Fade. Now this brings up these two handles, so I can drag the handle here to where I want it. Now if I hold down on the handle, it'll sort of zoom in there, and I can see when my waveform starts, and I can make sure I have a decent amount of time. So I'm going to drop that there. Now if I want to preview this, I can drag my playhead to where it is and hit play. So that's not too bad. Let's just play it one more time. Probably a little bit too much time. So let's tap and hold again. And just drag this one around about there. All right, now let's try this one again. That's better. So it's about 1 second. And when you're uploading a song, you want about 1 second of lead in, because a lot of streaming services will cut off the start, or they'll fade in the start if you have it right at the start. So around about 1 second usually works well. Go to the back end here and let's make sure that the fade out is okay here. Yep, around about that. So that's where we want it to be. So now if we tap on save in the top right corner, it is going to trim, and there we go. So over on the left here, we have the Final Countdown 1 trimmed.wave, and it's ready to go. What we can do now is actually send it straight from here. This is the power of iOS and using the iPad. We can now send it straight into Final Touch for mastering. So we're going to tap on the share button in the bottom right here, this one here. There we go. And now we can do the same thing. But now we're going to send this audio to Final Touch. So let's tap on copy to Final Touch. And this will bring it over into here. I don't know why that's open like that. And here it is. If we hit play. And we're ready here now to master this track in Final Touch. Now, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to crush this track. I just want to do a little bit of very light work on this. So at the moment, it's just got the maximizer, the dynamics, and the pre-EQ on here. I'm not going to actually do a whole lot. What I'll do is I'll probably leave something like the low pass or the low cut. High pass filter, that's what I'm trying to say, on here, on the EQ. I might just play a little bit with the high end. Let's just come in here to this whistling part in particular. So you can see where those whistles are in there. Around about that area. I'm just going to actually pull a little bit of that out there. So I'm going to sort of smooth that out. So I'm just grabbing 2 fingers and pinching out. By the way, if you've not used Final Touch, it is a very cool app. It does cost to buy. It's about $20 US. And I've got a full series, which will be linked up the top there and in the description about how to use Final Touch. So I'm really just doing a little bit of an EQ move here. So we're dropping this down probably about 3 dB with a nice sort of shallow Q there. So let's try this now. I think that's worked. So what I'm going to do is I'll just play it and I'll take it out and bring it back in and just make sure it's done what I want it to do. That's with it out. Back in the chain. Yep, I'm happy with that. All right, let's go to dynamics now. What do we want to do with the dynamics? Let's try a preset here. We want something pretty gentle here. We don't want anything big, sort of rock dynamics. We probably want to use one of the... What should we go with here? Let's try the punch. No, not punch and width. What was the one that I like to use? So thick and warm. Let's try this one here. So this gives us a little bit of sort of some boosting going on here down low. So it's not bad. It's a little bit intense. Let's go to this part.
We're leaving together.
And take it out.
But still it's farewell. And maybe we'll come back.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Let's try another one. So we just want something really, really minimalist here. We probably don't need anything at all. What about a classic gentle envelope?
To earth who can tell. I guess there is no one.
You know what? I don't even know that we need any dynamics here at all. Let's just try maybe one more here. No, what about single band punch and glue? Something very, very small here. Bring it back in.
To blame. We're leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again?
No, every time I take it out, it sounds better beforehand. So we're going to leave it there. What I may try, though, is a little bit of stereo imaging. Because this is sort of 2 tracks only on this song, and it's right up the middle. So let's see if we can use the stereo imager just to widen it a little bit.
It's the final countdown. Final countdown.
So I don't mind that. Let's just take it off and just turn it on and off and make sure it's actually working for us.
Final countdown.
We'll flick it over to mono and make sure it still works in mono.
Oh, we're heading for Venus. Still we stand tall.
Once again, I like it better not on. So we're just going to skip all of this. We're going to go with a little bit of the pre-EQ there with just basically a high pass filter and a little bit of filtering there on the high frequencies that we put in before. And we're just going to use the maximizer. So sometimes mastering less is more because keep playing with this and it's sounding worse. So let's just master it till we get the peaks at the right level now. We'll go to our loudest section here, like here.
Sure that they'll all miss us so. It's the final countdown. Final countdown.
Yeah, still piercing through a little bit on that high end. Should we add a post EQ just to...
Final countdown. countdown. Final countdown. Final countdown. Oh.
All right, that's just subdued a little bit. You could argue that, Pete, why didn't you EQ this better in the original mix? Well, I did remove some of the treble there, but the problem was that, yeah, I didn't have the metering in GarageBand that you have here in Final Touch, and the guitar and vocal were recorded on the same track. If you didn't catch when I recorded this, I used a USB mic, and I recorded guitar and vocals together on one track. So this is where some of the challenges are coming in. But let's do a quick time check. We're 9 minutes in, so we better keep moving because we've got to do the whole upload and release process. Yep, so I'm going to go with this. Let's just go to a section here.
Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown. Final countdown.
All right, I think that's good. I think we're maintaining enough dynamic range. I'm just making sure that we're not actually limiting too much here and they're actually going to be using too much. That we don't want it to be a sausage here. We wanted to keep a bit of the dynamic range. Where's our loudest section again?
That they'll all miss us so. It's the final countdown.
Yeah, so it's only pulling off maybe 3 dB at that top end most of the time. So I'm going to go with it. All right, so now that we're done, we need to actually export this from our Final Touch app. So we're going to do that by hitting the share button here, and we're going to export it. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to have to send it back to AudioShare. So we'll tap AudioShare, and we need to make sure it's a 16-bit 44 kilohertz WAV file because that is what our Amuse actually wants. Oops, I pressed the wrong button there. Export to AudioShare. This is why AudioShare is good because Final Touch doesn't have files integration. And that's a bit of a pain. So you need to do something like this. So I'm going to do the good old final countdown, final master, because it will be, because this is the version we're releasing. And yes, calling something final master is always dangerous because sometimes it ends up not being the final master. Let's hit export here, like so. And it's exporting the final countdown, final master.wav. And now it's going to send it back over to AudioShare. It's just doing its rendering, and we'll see it pop up over here, importing it, and it will look like this. So yeah, you can see there that I've potentially limited it a little bit too much. Let's hit play.
Welcome us all, yeah. With so many light years to go, and things to be found. Sure that they'll all miss us so.
Yeah, okay. I'm going... what did I say? Calling something final master. I'm going to dial back a bit on the threshold because I was hearing a little bit of distortion there on some of those parts. So I'm just dialing it back a little bit on the threshold there. We're going to re-export and we're going to go AudioShare. And yes, this is where... Are we going to call it final master too? Oh dear. Yeah, this is... I knew I'd jinx myself. Final master 2. I've not even got the R in the right caps there. Now we'll export again. We'll send this back across. Like, I just didn't want it to be that crispy. It's supposed to be an acoustic track, and yeah, you could see there it was too limited. The waveform was sort of spiking up there or flattening out at the top. Let's take a look at it now. That's better. That's what we want. You want it to be right up there at 0 dB, but with a song like this, it doesn't have to be crushing it. Let's take a listen again to this loud section now.
And things to be found, sure that they'll all miss us so.
Yeah, I'm going to be much happier with hearing it like that than I would have before. All right, so we are ready to go. What we now need to do is actually save out a version of this from here. Well, actually, no, we don't need to do that because this is right here in the Files app under AudioShare Files. So it's the Final Countdown Master2.wav. We'll remember that 24.9 megabytes. What we now need to do is flip over into release mode. So I'm going to go out of here and we're going to go into Amuse. We're going to start uploading. I'll show you the album artwork in Canva and then we'll get this song released. All right, we are back. Now, we had a small technical hitch here, which cost us about 5 minutes and meant that you didn't see the last part. So all I did before is I had that final mastered WAV file, and then I went in and went to Canva and grabbed and downloaded my album artwork. And then I've entered so far the release title, the label name, and I've uploaded the artwork. It then asked me all of those questions, and if you want to know what those were, you can check the previous video where it asked me all the same questions about the album artwork. It seems to think it's okay now, so we're good to go. And the problem is that Amuse is only in portrait mode, and I think it didn't like going between landscape and portrait mode with the different applications here. So we're going to continue on here now, but yeah, you did miss a little bit there. All right, let's select the number of tracks. We're going to tap on that. We're going to tap 1. It is 1 track. Tap. Oh, no, we have to slide. Okay. Hit save, perhaps. All right. No audio file, so we guess we tap on that one. Yes, select audio file and iCloud. And on my iPad, where did I save it? That's right, it's in the AudioShare location. We knew that. So we can go to AudioShare files, and now it's the Master 2, this weird named one over here, the Final Countdown Master 2. Final Master 2, I knew that would be a problem. The amount of people that have, Final Version 2, Final Version really final this time, Final Version, you can be sure of that this time. All right, so that's uploading reasonably slowly, but that's okay. Let's do our track details while it uploads. Track title, set automatically from release title. Yep, so okay, that's good. We've already put that in. Version, we do not need original version. This isn't where we put, no, that's not where we put the cover. Here we go. Original remix cover. This is where it's going to get interesting. Cover. This is a cover of someone else's song. You made it, but someone else recorded it before you. Yes. All right. Distribution license are optional. You need a distribution license or to distribute cover songs to download stores in the US, Canada, Mexico, India, and Pakistan. If you do not have a license, restrictions will apply. Okay, I don't have a license, so restrictions will apply. Tell me what it is. Lyrics not explicit. Recording year this year. Music style genre. Alternative, maybe? Yeah, let's just go alternative. It's slightly alternative, isn't it? I don't have an ISRC, so they'll assign one of those. I don't have a YouTube content ID. So this is something I got in trouble with last time. YouTube Content ID looks after your sound recording. So monetize my music every time recordings are used in a video. YouTube will send a message. No YouTube, I do not want YouTube Content ID for my recordings. So this is what I think I selected last time and then kind of instantly regretted it. We'll leave it off this time. Yeah, you can check those videos that we did before if you want to learn why that was a problem last time. No featured artists. We won't do that. Contributors. Add people who took part. If you don't add any writers, your artist name will use when the track's sent to stores. Okay. So add the people who took part in creating this track. So no, this isn't where we need that. So somewhere it's going to ask me with the cover who wrote the song, and I'm prepared for that. I've found out who actually wrote this. It was the lead singer of Europe, a guy named Joey Tempest. So we will add him in when we get there. Let's hit save. All right. So we've got the final delivery covered. Okay, delivery options, cover distribution restrictions. So, since at least one of your songs on your release is a cover, there are some distribution restrictions. So skip stores, don't distribute to Apple Music, iTunes, or Google in any country. And skip countries, don't distribute to any store in the United States, Canada, Mexico, India, or Pakistan. Apple Music, iTunes, or Google. Why don't we skip the stores? Why don't we just make this streaming only, perhaps, and see how that goes this time around? We can do one or the other. Yeah, maybe we'll come back and try the countries another time, but we don't, don't distribute to any store. I'm not convinced that that's all the countries, because I'm here in Australia, and I don't want it to release to stores in Australia and then get in some sort of trouble. So I'm going to go skip stores. So it's not going to distribute to Apple Music, iTunes, or Google, which means it'll only be streaming. But that's okay, because I don't think anyone will ever buy this single. Anyway, let's tap save on the cover distribution. Music stores all available, countries all available. So I guess that's all good. Proposed release date is Friday the 5th of April. We'll tap on that one and see if we can change that. So yeah, it likes to do it on Fridays because it's New Music Day, but the earliest I can do it seems to be Wednesday the 3rd of April, which is, 2 weeks from today? What's the date today? It's the 20th of March. Let's try with this one, 3rd of April. We'll tap save to release that. My song is still uploading, so what I'm going to do is we will wait for this to finish, because I'm assuming we need to do that before we submit release, and then we'll return once it's uploaded, and we'll release this track. So we're racing the clock here. We've got 3 minutes according to my original timetable of going from 4:15 to 4:45 p.m. But our track is nearly uploaded and then we'll be ready to hit release. So even with a few technical difficulties, hopefully we can get all of this done within our initial 30 minutes. We are uploaded. Let's tap our big submit release button and see what happens. We are submitting. And we are spinning. I looked at this one. There we go. Thank you. We will start reviewing your submitted release and get back to you by email in the next few business days if we find something you need to fix. Probably my album art. Once a release is approved, we'll be in touch to confirm your release date. Okay, I've got it. I'm going to tap got it. And we are done. There we go. My new release of the final countdown. It asked me this last time. Yeah, sure, but not now. So there we go. It is in review. Once again, we'll return back and take a look once this has been submitted. It has worked because we are 29 minutes in, so that is good timing. We are ready to go here. So there you go. We've released our cover song, so we can do it. We just needed to either restrict the stores that it went to or the countries where it's available to. So in this one, we've gone with the stores, so it won't be available to purchase. Sorry, I know you've been hanging out to buy this single, but you will be able to stream it on your favorite streaming platforms. And there you go, we got our song released and we did it within 30 minutes, even with the technical difficulties. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking or tapping on the Studio Live Today icon in the top right corner, because we will be returning in 2 weeks' time to see how this has actually gone and if this song has been successfully released. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.